And we can.
I'm not happy till you're not happy.
And we can fire. That's a good RBF song, by the way.
Right.
All right, let's fire off. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh! Hello and welcome to the Angry Cuddles podcast. This is episode 221. 221.
221.
Today's episode is brought to you by Applebee's. Applebee's, no, fuck you. My name is Steven. Joining me today, Chuck, DJ Pikachuck.
Hi.
Sir William Roth of DeRothers.
That is correct.
DeRothers?
And Shark. Who bothered to dress up today?
God, that's adorable.
And you look great, Shark. Yay. What's the, did you piece together from several different sources, or was this all made in one?
Established how
several different sources. Actually, I was a cheap bastard and bought the headband at Daiso.
Cool. I like it. What have you guys been up to?
Nothing. Working.
Mike.
Yeah.
Chuck, Mike.
I've been working. Doing the dude stuff. Yeah.
I bet you will.
Been to a wedding this weekend.
Did you take any weekend trips out? Did you have to go out of town for the wedding? Because you're out of town every weekend.
Every goddamn weekend.
Just constantly traveling.
Was this a good wedding, or was this
This
up
was
there
a-
with the purple
Are
wedding?
you a good wedding or a bad wedding?
Yeah, right. This was a good wedding.
Okay.
I was in this wedding.
Purple wedding.
Yeah, I was
Red
in this
wedding.
wedding.
Were
And
you
it was,
the best
the
man,
brown-
or were you
No.
a man?
I was a man.
Okay.
I was a groom's man, and it was crazy. God, got tanked.
Oh yeah.
When the entire bridal party has to Uber out of there,
Oh, shit.
you know it's been a crazy night.
Fantastic.
Damn.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Shark? What did you do last week?
Last week was relatively quiet for me until I had the second 24-hour artist competition.
Oh.
I can't do those anymore. I'm finding it
Sure.
causes my carpal tunnel
We're
to
old.
hate me.
Well, also staying up for 24 hours at our age.
Actually, I can do that thankfully to my superpower called insomnia.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Do you get hangovers yet, Will?
Yet?
Yeah, because like when
We're wearing sunglasses at night.
When I was in my mid-20s, like I could drink as long as I had a glass of water before bed. I felt fine the next day. And now if I have a beer,
Yeah.
I will wake up feeling like shit.
Well, yes, Stephen. To answer your question,
Okay, you do get it.
hangover. Not too much though, but I've never been like a real heavy hangover guy unless I'm like partying a disgusting amount.
Okay.
But
You have to try for it.
I really have to put in the time.
It's long.
It
it's a
takes
slog.
effort
Yeah.
to get this hungover.
It's true. Let's just put it this way: I've never been hungover after karaoke.
You want to know something?
Yeah.
I have never thrown up from drinking, not one time.
Are you kidding me?
I have not remembered the night before.
Oh,
I've had
okay.
corrupt data where I've woken up and I'm like, do I have to? I start texting people. Do I have to apologize to anybody today?
Oh,
But I've never thrown up, not one time.
Jesus, good for you.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
don't have any idea
You don't
what-
want to do it.
I'm
It's
not-
terrible.
I'm sure.
Actually, the throwing up doesn't actually help you get rid of the alcohol because it's already in your system.
Yeah, it's
I've-
just dehydrating you further.
I've had the
Game guy's right though. Will does look like a real musician.
yeah.
Not just today.
You need to start playing some like Billy Joel like right now,
No, I already said we have some sunglasses at night.
so we can keep track of the
Corey
visions
Hart.
in our eyes.
Yes.
I have had the corrupt data before, but the problem with my corrupt data is that I don't realize it's corrupt until somebody forces me to access it. At which point I go, wait, what just did that? Oh no!
I don't know if it's an anxiety or what, but I every day will go through the day's events that happened today and then yesterday's, and I do it almost every day where I will replay portions of the day. And so if I wake up the next day and I start my replay,
Yeah.
well, like let's go to the tape missing, and I'm like shit.
You forgot to press record.
Forgot to record it. That sucks.
Usually I just check my Facebook and any of my favorite sites, but I actually have a pretty good solid habit of whenever I'm drunk, I don't Facebook post and I don't
That's a
drunken
good-
text unless you text me first.
There are drunk mode apps for your phone where it will disable text messaging, Facebook messaging, stuff like that when you're drunk, and you hit it when you start drinking.
Is there an app that will disable my mouth?
Not yet. But Zuckerberg, I'm sure, has one somewhere.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Last Friday, I went to my old middle school. ALA, the Applied Learning Academy. My mom teaches there, and they do a thing on Fridays called advisory period. And what it is it's not about menstruation. It's sort of like every Friday they go and they have clubs essentially, and they have a topic that they want to talk about. And some kids do photography and some kids do film or tech or whatever.
For a second, I thought you said menstruation, not administration.
I did
was
say
like,
menstruation because I said advisory period. So that was the joke.
Now I understand.
Anyway, so I went and talked to them. They wanted to talk. My mom said, will you come and talk to them about games and comics and stuff? And I was like, yeah. So I came in and I did 45 minutes with the kids, and it went by like that. By the way, you can't learn shit in 45 minutes, just for the record. Like, we barely skimmed across everything. But I went up and I was like, so I do a webcomic. We have I'm a gamer, and I talked to them about games for a little bit. And I said, we also have a stream, and they were all like, we have a million Twitch questions. You know, how do you Twitch? I have my own YouTube channel. Do you have a YouTube channel? What's your Twitch? And everything like that. So we gained 2 or 3 new followers on Friday.
Nice.
Just
by
make
me
sure
giving a talk.
that you have your parents' permission to go through the 18 plus.
I told them. I and my mom and I were very like,
Okay.
by the way, if don't watch
say
us
the
if
F
your
word a
parents
lot on
don't
this
like
show.
language. But I imagine that there's a
Or
fairly.
just wear your headphones and don't say anything.
But here's the thing. So JB Jonathan streams with me on Fridays usually for the Couch Co-op show, and so they said, so do you have a and he also used to sub for Fort Worth ISD, including at ALA. They asked me if we had an Angry Cuddles YouTube channel, to which I replied, yeah, let me pull it up for you and show it to you. Like, not, I don't play any of the videos, but I just like, yes, here's our page, and we're still working on it. It's fairly new. And they like a group of them immediately went, Mr. B, because they could see him in the picture-in-picture in the thumbnail on the YouTube video, and I went, oh shit, I just fucked him real hard,
I just
didn't
fucked
I?
any chance of a job.
Real
in here.
hard. And so I called him and I told him, I was like, hey, heads up, some of your ex-students may watch our shit now, and you're on some of that shit. And anyway, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking about it, but also it just sort of came up naturally in the conversation. I didn't even really think about it. And he was really cool. He was like, those kids have really good head on their shoulders. I'm not super worried about it. I'm going to go talk to them next week. So he's going to go and, like, let everybody know, like, this is the thing I do outside of school. It's not related to school, blah, blah, blah. But still, he's trying to decide if he's going to keep doing it. But I felt so bad because I just didn't even think about it.
Yeah, whenever I was teaching, I said, yes, I do a comic. You guys know my name is unique. I'm not going to tell you where to find it. But if you happen to find it, don't mention it.
Right, yeah. Just be good. Alex
at least
Gould,
be good at
welcome to the broadcast. I think, hey, guys, huge fan. Can I get you guys, I'll say shout out to Justin Merzda, please. Sure.
Shout out to Justin Merzda, please.
Boom!
Just want to go on the record here by saying a huge shout out to Justin Merzda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely shout out to Justin.
Huge shout out.
Hey, yo, shout out to Justin Merzda. Merzda!
I drove a Merzda 929 when I was in high school. It was my first car. And you know what? And when I was in high school,
about people's mothers like
I
that.
didn't.
No, you shouldn't talk about people's Merzdas like that.
Thanks, Alex Gould. If you haven't yet, please follow us. We're on our way to 100, and we need followers real bad. Real bad. When I was in high school, my first car, I did not know. I went through driver's ed. I got my license. I didn't know that you had to change the oil. It just was a thing that managed to skip by in all the lessons.
Yeah.
The maintenance stuff. And so I drove it until it stopped driving.
Crystal, I know you're watching the show right now. Don't say one damn word.
Hey, Crystal, Dragonfly, tell us what happened with Chuck and changing oil.
No.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
Pipe in.
One word. No. No.
Okay. And you guys chatting. I want you guys to pipe in as well, and I want you guys to tell me, what is the scariest video game you've ever played? Or moment from a video game that scared the shit out of you. You can spend some time to think on it.
That's gonna take some work because I don't usually. My brother used to jump out from behind corners on me my entire youthful life, so jump scares don't really do a lot for me.
Yeah?
I just
Atmospheric?
There's some stuff, but usually my brain ends up taking it apart and being like, "Ooh, that's pretty. How did they do that?"
Was there a movie that scared you at all? You know what gets me? Found footage films.
Those don't-
Blair Witch Project
Hey,
and the
if you
first Paranormal Activity destroyed me for months.
I like how you. That's. I've never heard that genre used.
Oh,
that
the
way.
found-
the found footage.
Yeah.
Found
I-
footage
Technically,
films.
Cloverfield's
I
found
don't
footage.
have
Yeah.
things scare me so much as they squick me out.
Intrigue
and-
you.
No, they were literally make me go.
Oh, just.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like bugs in human bodies. So the
Men in Black?
strain really gave me a really big problem where it had the little tapewormy things
Uh-huh.
going into bodies and stuff, and I was like, ugh.
But the roach wearing the Edward skin in Men in Black, you're fine with. Gave him a break.
I hate fucking roaches.
Okay.
Edgar, your skin is hanging off your bones.
Alex Gould 96 says Rudy Munoz says Resident Evil and shout out for Rudy. We gave a shout out already,
Rudy Munoz.
but
Well, we
yeah,
said
now we'll Rudy
Justin,
Munoz.
but
That's true.
yeah.
But we'll Rudy
Mr.
Munoz.
Rudy.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yes.
Rudy Munoz. How you doing,
Munoz.
buddy?
Tell us about Resident Evil. Like, what was it? The jump scares? Was it that you were in
For starters, which Resident Evil? Because there's 6 of them.
Mike Chuck?
I'm right there.
No. Yeah.
Still-
There you go.
Pull it down.
Tilted
Pull it
the
down.
I'm going to start filleting this mic.
That's what we
Haven't
want you
we
to
already
do.
told you
I
to do
don't
that?
want to fillet the mic, because that's what happens when I fillet the mic. Listen, I'm already spiking.
Well, then don't
Just-
scream.
Then
I
bring
feel
it
like
in,
Andy
bring it in.
Samberg in Community.
Yeah.
Andy Samberg in Community.
He can't control the volume of his own voice, and so he just screams everything.
Oh,
It's
man.
a really silly character.
Game Guy says, Game Guy's talking about a gun. He bought a 3.5 pound trigger and a slide fire kick. Resident Evil 9. If you mean 6. But even then, no, you don't mean 6. The Leon Helena campaign. Vinny is Vinny. Welcome back.
Vinny is Vinny.
Guess who's back? And screw Nightbot.
Who's Nightbot?
I don't know.
Nightbot. That's a scary monster right there, Nightbot.
I will tell you the
Sounds like a Batman robot.
Silent Hill 2 is probably the scariest game I've ever played.
Yeah.
I did like Pyramid Head.
And that's a fantastic creature.
It is. It's made of pure nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay, the scariest moment I've had in a game so far, believe it or not, is actually Silent Hill 4.
Oh, really?
But
4 got you good?
It's a toss-up. It's Silent Hill 4.
Is Silent Hill 4 The
And then-
Room?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that one was so eerie.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
That's what really horrified me about it.
It's a toss-up between Silent Hill 4 and you're walking around in like this empty water tower or grain silo looking thing, and then you go into this one room and all you see is this great big giant fuck off eye staring at you and following you as you move around in the room.
Oh, my. I thought I had that under control.
Right.
so
I think
unprofessional.
actually for anything as far as jump scares and absolute fuck you monster, I would have to say the long-haired girl from The Evil Within,
That's good.
because the only thing that kills her is fire, and she just regenerates everywhere.
Yeah. And then she crawls on the floor.
Yes.
Vinny is Vinny. We've already covered Will Shades. He's a rock star.
I am
So
a
he
rock
doesn't have to. He doesn't have to follow your fucking rules, man.
I don't follow your rules.
By the way,
Vinny.
I want to give a shout out to myself because you went to, I think it was when you were in Memphis, and you had this beautiful hotel room, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
gorgeous, and
The
there was
Peabody.
this beautiful like silhouetted picture of Will in this magnificent hotel room, and I said, now destroy it like a rock star, and I would go back and read my own comment and laugh.
It was a good one.
Yeah,
It really was.
I liked it.
Yeah. We periscoped a ghost hunt that night.
Ooh.
And we had like 60 some odd people watching. it.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was really silly.
That's cool.
We went around the whole hotel like searching for ghosts.
I dig it.
Yeah, it was great.
Game Guy says Shaq Fu was horrifying. And Dragonfly gets back to us. Let's just say that Chuck will never put off changing the oil in a car ever again.
I
okay.
love you too,
That's okay.
baby.
We learn something new every day.
We live and we
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah, we call that a $2,000 mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, Chucky.
Oh no.
Chucky boy.
So what happened to my car was that one of the cylinders cracked and was feeding oil directly into the engine. Is that what happened to you?
No, I threw a rod.
Oh, that was a
So
rod throw.
yeah, there's
okay.
there's a hole.
Sure.
There's a hole in the manifold just big enough for me to put 2 fingers into.
The Silent Hill 2, I think, was the one that scared me the most, and it was almost nothing jumpy. It was everything. I was worried about everything in the town from the get-go.
I had one moment like that. It was actually in Shattered Memories, and you were there for that.
Shattered Memories, the Wii one.
The one for the Wii.
Right.
You were there. You watched that happen as I was walking around the school, and then I got that one like phone message, and it was of that kid who.
Oh yeah, so on the Wii version of Silent Hill, when the phone rings, your cell phone rings or whatever, you have to put the Wii controller up to your ear to hear the
Really?
to hear
a little
the
speaker
message.
in the Wiimote,
How great.
and you listen to the phone thing from
Yeah.
there.
And it's usually a memory or something that's
And
going on.
This was the last moments of a kid who accidentally kills himself in trying to
Perform autoerotic asphyxiation.
This
Because
is why you don't use stretchy things or Velcro.
and you listen. You
yeah,
get to
you
hear
hear, like, the
this
whole
kid
thing.
joke.
It's-
Wait.
So on
what game is this?
Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
Shattered Memories.
So
you
I'm-
hear a kid accidentally kill himself.
While choking himself, trying to choke his chicken. And
That's
so I've
fucked.
got I have the Wiimote, and just there's like Steven and maybe one or two other people are watching me play this game, and you just watch as the look on my face.
How do you know that's what he's doing?
Because you can hear it, and he's
describing
talking
it,
about
and
it.
I think it accompanies like a police report of the kid where they found.
That's actually how
like,
you
or
get it.
something
It's
like
like
that.
There's also just kind of a general thing as an adult of someone who has masturbated in the past. You kind of know what those sounds are.
Yeah, it's sort of like
I've never done that.
It's not a child. It's
it's
a teenager. This
kidding.
is in a high school.
it's like you drop an
So-
M&M
Oh, this
into
is
a
a
jar of
teenager?
mayonnaise, and you're trying to get the M&M out of the jar of mayonnaise over,
over and over
again,
again,
really
But
fast.
You just can't get it, so you
No.
got to keep trying.
You got to.
Yeah. You're never gonna get that M&M.
I'm never gonna get that.
And you know what? I
image
think
out of my head.
I think that's a good metaphor for
You're
life.
never gonna get that.
You're never
M&M.
gonna get that M&M.
That's
at the
gonna be
bottom
a
of the
shirt.
mayonnaise jar.
I
That's
mean,
gonna be a shirt.
adult.
Well, have you ever been scared playing a game ever?
Yes, I have.
Is it ESO?
No.
Are there like scary
It's not
moments
Every
in
scary
ESO?
fucking game is ESO.
Are there missions? Because there was some Dark Brotherhood stuff in
Yeah.
the older Elder Scrolls games that were not scary but like creepy.
Yeah. They did some good stuff in Bethesda with that, but
Wait, was it Skyrim where
ESO.
you go into a room and you're trying to find like a target or something? You go into a room and the target's already dead, and when you turn around, someone's there.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a good one.
yeah.
That was
They
nice.
do. In ESO, no, nothing is scary. Everything is kind of cartoony.
You're welcome to talk about a game that's not ESO. I just
Thank
throw
you.
that out there because
Yeah. No,
Actually-
I love jump scares.
You do?
I do. I mean, I hate them,
Okay.
but that's what gets me. You know what I mean? It's like I hate them, but I get them.
Yeah.
You know.
Like-
And I think one of my most recent ones was playing Batman. Even the newest
Arkham Knight.
Knight. Yeah, was the Man Bat.
Okay.
When you're cruising up to a rooftop and all of a sudden he just pops over the thing at you right during gameplay, and he scares the living shit out of you. But and it's true, it's a really freaky moment. But that kind of stuff scares me. But I remember being a kid and playing Silent Hill for the first time, and you're walking down the foggy streets, and you go into the diner,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And then that the bat thing breaks the glass,
Yeah.
and I was horrified. Yeah, horrified.
This is gonna be the rest of my
yeah,
life.
this is the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And so I
Jump
stopped playing.
which game was that?
Silent Hill.
The first Silent Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
So there was a game called there's a pair of games, and Chuck knows where I'm going with this because he was nearby for the 360 called Condemned Criminal Origins.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys haven't played those games, go fucking play those games. I'm gonna start with the second one because it was less scary in that jump way and more scary in that panicky I'm going to throw up kind of way, because you come into a cabin, and this is from memory from like 10 years ago or something now, but there's a bear, like a grizzly bear, that attacks you, and you have to turn and run. And since the game's in first person, you don't know how close it is. You just hear him behind you as you're running for your life. And I thought I was going to throw up. That was about 10 seconds of sheer terror.
That's
No.
when you need to
No, no,
just
no.
throw the peanut butter or the cupcakes.
Tell him. Tell
The first one.
Tell the audience at home about your experience with the first
Okay,
one.
with the first one.
You tell yours and I'll tell mine.
In the first Condemned, what you do is it's a first-person game, and there's some sort of beaten
You're a
up.
detective, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in addition to the sort of beady fighty thing, you do forensics.
Yeah.
And so you'll come to a crime scene, you'll take pictures, you'll do UV, and you'll put pieces together and, solve shit. So
Now, can
yeah.
I ask you a question real
Mhm.
fast before we continue?
Sure.
Is it like, is it really like use your head kind of shit, or is it like
They get better with it at the second one. When they're the first one, all it is, it's like you find a particular point, and then you can line up the triangles and whatever tool you're using, and then bam, you have the evidence.
The
right
first
there.
one is more like a series of
So-
QuickTime events, and if you find all the QuickTime
it's
events,
a little bit like that where you pick up the things with the tweezers
Operation.
yeah, it's a little more like that. But at the time, this is before like LA Noire or anything, so it was sort of a step in a direction of like, oh, cool, I can sort of kind of figure stuff out. And you're ranked on how well you do the investigations, right? Is that right, Chuck?
Yes.
Okay. So about halfway through the game, you come into a school, and there's a murder victim in one of the stuffed into a locker. And so the way that you do the forensics, like for the bodies, is you pull out the camera and you focus it. You bring the image into focus, and it snaps a picture and sends it back to the lab. So you open the locker. There's the body in there, all screwed up looking. You pull out your camera. You start to focus, and the instant that it comes into focus, the body goes, "Help me!" and like comes at you because it's not dead.
Yeah.
And my gaming rig, I used to sit in a chair in front of a PC monitor before I had an HD TV, because I'd use a PC monitor to be able to play in HD.
Yeah.
So I was sitting about a foot in front of my system, and my knee-jerk reaction was to go "Bah!" and reach over, and I shut off my system just immediately. I turned off the entire 360 because it jumped me. I screamed so loud. It's like, "Bah!" off. And then, fuck that! Like, then I had to go back and replay that level again.
Hey, at least you could expect it this time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
When it came out, it was one of the launch systems, and he and I were still living in Denton.
It was
at
a
the
launch
time.
title, yeah.
He lived in an apartment, and in this apartment, we're not sure what was going on in the roof or whatever, but
There were
nice little
critters that
skittering
lived
noises going on up
in
there.
between my ceiling and the roof of this apartment complex.
Wait,
So-
you guys were Dentonites?
It's called squirrels
Yeah.
or rats.
I was a Dentonite.
Really?
No
For
shit.
3 years, I lived there.
What years?
3
Yeah.
motherfucker, try 20, man.
You lived there for 20 years?
Chuck
It's
grew
his
up there
third
until
grade,
he
yo.
moved here.
What?
Yeah.
So you're like a
Poor
Fry Street guy.
bastard.
Yeah,
Me too, man. Wow.
yeah. Back when Fry Street was actually cool.
The
Yeah,
first
Fry Street
time-
is just a hole in the shit now.
Jesus.
Cool Beans was where I would go.
Cool beans. Dude, best
Flying
burgers.
tomato.
They're
Flying
good.
tomato.
And J&J's on the square for pizza also. by the
Flying
way.
tomato.
Dude, flying tomato's gone, brother.
Flying tomato's
I
fine.
know it is,
But
but
before that
Crooked
was
crust now, man.
but
And it's good.
actually,
I still have a hat.
the first time I ever went to work drunk was because of Cool Beans. I met a friend there, and I was supposed to be on the air that night on the radio station, and so I did my shift buzzed.
Just hand.
'Cause,
Yeah.
But
But
Game
you
Guy,
didn't puke.
Game Guy, no, I didn't. Never have.
Never
Game Guy says I got Amnesia: The Dark Descent for free a while ago, but I haven't played it. Actually, I did too. I got Amnesia, but I'm too scared to turn it on. I can't even like pull it up.
You
So-
got you got the game Amnesia, but you keep forgetting to
forgetting
turn it on.
What the-
Amnesia.
Very stupid joke.
that's
Amnesia has the scariest monster I've ever seen.
Does it?
Really?
And that it's there. It has killed me several times, but you don't actually see it.
Which makes a better monster, actually.
Much better monster.
As-
All you do is you hear it run through the water, and it doesn't know you're there until you get into the water too. So you'll just be like wading through the water in the basement, going, "Oh, this is kind of creepy," and then all of a sudden you'll hear, "Oh Jesus, what is that?"
Actually, the evil within that had invisible.
Yes, there was a
Monsters, too.
monster that
And
could
so-
actually turn invisible
and
too.
so you'd be in a.
They weren't permanently invisible, but they could turn invisible.
But there were
The
frequent
one in
times.
Amnesia is permanently invisible.
Permanently visible. Well, there were times when I was playing the Evil Within where I'd like go into a room and I'd be looking around for stuff, and I'd hear kung, kung, king, 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 and then I'd turn and I would just sit and wait, and I would stare at the hallway, because if I saw anything move, because there's physics and stuff in the game, so
Yeah.
if like a box gets knocked over, if a
Or a
shelf
wheelchair.
ruffles, yeah, then I'd notice like open fire. But frequently in that game, I would hear something stop and just sit and stare and wait.
See, my parents learned to stop taking me to haunted houses because jump scares didn't work on me. We went to like one of those Six Flags Fiesta Texas type things, and it was during the Alice Cooper haunted house stuff. And we finally go in, and the first thing we get is all this spooky mist, and this guy jumps out of a corner and he growls at us. And my brain automatically goes, I'm not allowed to hit this person. What do I do in defense? So the first thing I do is I growl back at him. Yeah. And
That
apparently
was
that
fucking adorable.
that apparently
That's good.
was
good
the
too.
best thing of his night because my dad claimed through the different cracks in the walls and stuff of the setup, he saw the guy running through it, literally trying to catch us again before we got out of the house because he enjoyed my reaction so thoroughly.
Oh, we did a haunted house once at our house where we had, we set up some shit and we had brought people in through the front door and then took them back to the garage and different things jumped out at them.
Killed him.
and we just murdered them.
Yeah.
And no one caught us. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Great Halloween.
Our friend Sam had like a full suit of plate armor that he had rented. So he would stand in the living room in the middle and he looked just like a statue. And so he would do that thing where he would, motion out towards them. And one of my friends, he scared so bad that she screamed and ran, like ran through the rest of the house. And that worked pretty well.
And she stole one of your sandwiches.
Well, at least she didn't pee herself.
Yeah. I have
That
an
happens.
ex-girlfriend who
It does.
who used to play Weeping Angel at a haunted house.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah, she was
And
good at it too.
She was really good at it.
Oh, no. I remember. I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, and she kept trying to get me to go last year, and I was like, no, I can't. I really, really can't. You don't want me at a haunted house. She's like, well, why not? You seem like such a nice person. You go along with it.
Some of us punch whenever we get scared.
Yes, very, very hard.
See, I feel like that's lacking self-control.
No, that's called a fucking fight or flight response, dude.
You don't live in the wilderness. There's not ninjas after you. You don't have to have that response.
I know, and yet I still do.
That's
I'm
why
sorry,
I
still do. Okay, look, I read.
He's a man of the old world.
I'm a man of it.
That's true.
I'm a man of the old world.
He worships the old gods.
Damn it!
I just had to keep going.
All right, so I read an article somebody posted on Facebook earlier today.
Right.
It was 19 haunted houses that you will go to any lengths to go to see.
Yeah.
And there is one in Utah.
Where they have you sign waivers or something, I imagine.
Isn't this the one where they touch you and they drench you with water and you don't actually pay, you just donate like dog food or something because they haven't officially gotten leased as a haunted house?
Oh, no. You
This
pay,
is the one where they can tie you up and
leave your ass there for hours at a time.
Yeah.
If you go in there,
and they'll come back and pour actual pig's blood on you and shit.
Holy shit.
Ew.
Yeah, no, it's a really gross
Utah,
one.
because
That's-
there's nothing else to do in that state.
I'm telling you, man.
They'll put
Shout out to Salt
they'll
Lake
put,
City. I'm
a
sorry.
bag of roaches on you.
Oh.
Yeah, they do fucked up shit.
I don't want to do
So
No,
it's
It's
that's-
basically
I don't wanna be in
it's
fear factor.
amateur hour fear factor.
You can pour pig's blood on me, but don't put fucking roaches on me.
Yeah. It's basically they simulate you being kidnapped and
Pigs.
thrown into a psycho's house.
Man, I guess some people really.
That's
That's a fetish camp.
it is. It's a fetish
yeah.
camp for
Game guy for the
extreme
win.
people.
Or the win. So what's your favorite monster creature from any game? Whether or not it's scary, just something that
Vampires.
you really fucking love. Vampires and
Vampires.
really get you. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's a whole
Twilight
type of
does
vampire.
not count.
No.
Right.
Vampires do not fucking sparkle.
No, they don't.
Vampire minus fangs plus sparkle equals goddamn motherfucking fairy, and not even good ones.
Diamond-skinned weirdos.
All he looks like is a goddamn male stripper.
I kept expecting him to start singing David Bowie at one point. Damn,
that would have at
dude.
least been redeeming.
Oh, provided he did it well.
Yes. Yes.
The Pyramid Head and the nurses in Silent Hill 2, and this is something that Silent Hill does really well, and specifically Silent Hill 2, is the game guy. Thank you for that. Just winking a nod to game guy. The thing that Silent Hill 2 did really well was that it fashioned its monsters after specific insecurities and psyche issues with the main character. It wasn't like, this looks scary. Different things had
It all had a purpose.
a purpose and a meaning, and that kind of thought I really appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
That was what I liked about Shattered Memories was that, it interspersed with the actual gameplay thing. You had that first-person element where you were talking to a psychiatrist, and your answers to the psychiatrist would affect what the game put in front of you. And Until Dawn does that
Actually,
too.
pretty ingenious.
Until Dawn. I actually I didn't want to play the game. I wanted to play the game, but I didn't want to play the game, so I went on YouTube and watched the entire game.
Whose playthrough?
Huh?
Whose playthrough?
I don't even remember. I just watched
You
every
just found one?
I watched every path that you could take.
This is how I've
was it
gotten through
good?
some games.
It was
It looks beautiful.
It's a beautiful game. It really is. I mean, it's just a classic horror movie.
Yeah.
That with a bunch of button sequences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's cool.
So
Is it sort of like
Dream.
Heavy Rain
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of a thing?
Looks very much like a
It
Quantum
is.
Dream game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which yeah.
The
I'm not too into it.
any other monsters, creatures that are really great?
You know, I've always been a werewolf guy,
Yeah.
but they don't scare me. I look up
But
to
you
them.
you dig, like you get excited though if you hear like werewolves in a
Looks
game or
like
something
werewolf.
Yeah, I
Looks
do.
Like that. He does, yeah.
Looks like
I
werewolf,
no,
yeah.
I find it aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm a werebear.
He's a werebear.
Yeah.
Don't get, you
Chuck-
get Chuck angry.
Chuck is a bear, and he's also a power bottom. Just so
he, is
everybody's
a,
aware.
he is a power
Yeah.
bottom. He generates a lot of
Leather,
power.
A lot of
from his bottom.
motherfuckers.
Crystal, verification, please.
Leather.
But yeah, no, I think a lot of, like, you know, obviously the classic vampire and werewolf thing, they don't scare me, but I look up to them.
You look
Underworld.
you appreciate
ne
them.
sais
Because I
quoi.
want to be them. Right? I mean, why not?
What was the best play as a werewolf thing? I'm trying to think of one that's not Bethesda, and I actually can't.
That's true.
I actually kind of like the way Underworld did. I really like the way Underworld did Lycanthropes.
I think he's referring to video game.
Oh,
Oh yeah, but
so
you can
fine.
talk about whatever you want. Yeah,
Um,
you like the Underworlds.
Altered Beast.
Alter Beast on Sega Genesis handled werewolves
Power.
well.
Zufo!
Zufo.
How
Welcome.
you doing, Zufo?
How's it going?
How you doing, Zufo?
Yeah, tell us. We're not
How
gonna
are
we're
you?
not gonna continue this conversation until
you
you tell
tell
us how
us.
you're doing.
We are waiting. Dead air, dead air, dead
30
air.
seconds of dead air. Zufo says fine,
And we continue.
and we can move on.
What about you, Steven?
Uh,
What's your who's your favorite?
Yeah, you didn't mention what
Yeah,
your
so far
favorite
you've been asking
monster
everybody
is.
else's, Andrew.
I'm gonna say he said I'm good. Thanks. That pressure though.
Sure do.
I think Resident Evil 2. I think Resident Evil 2 did the best with its. I mean, I'm a big Resident Evil fan, but in terms of like the monsters, like Birkin
Yeah.
was really scary because it maintained aspects of Birkin, and you saw his transformation as he went, and so you could see, you know, as he sprouted, you know, teeth and eyes and stuff, how things would change. His hair would change, and I really appreciated that.
Mr. X.
Yeah.
Mr. X in Resident Evil 2. That was scary. That was like pre-Nemesis. Really. Nemesis. Holy shit. Nemesis is a great monster.
Yeah, but Nemesis looked too monstery. The thing I liked about Mr. X was that Mr. X looked just human enough that he could pass for a human until you started paying attention to him. Mr. X to me was like the uncanny valley come and like to wreak havoc on your nightmares.
And actually, the Evil Within, their creatures, their monsters, were just like creepy enough to where some friends of mine would watch me play it, and they weren't necessarily scared, but they were just uneasy at the look of the things.
Yeah, it's true. You know,
Well, there is something that just you have a problem with when someone's wearing barbed wire on their head.
Yeah.
that's true. You know, Resident Evil 4, when I first played through it and I first got to the village and saw the body burning on the stake,
Yeah.
and then the villagers,
Mátalo.
yeah, and that first moment where you hear the chainsaw
Oh
start
my
up,
god, that
Dude.
fucking chainsaw.
that's
Panic right there.
that is panic.
Yeah.
That's absolute panic. You're like, what the do I do? Oh
is
my god.
Panic at the Resident Evil disco is I'm like freaking the fuck out.
That
now.
should be a shirt right there. Panic at the Resident Evil disco.
But yeah, for sure. That's a terrifying sound.
It is, man. The chainsaw, and that's something about. Obviously, it's so ingrained in our culture, chainsaws to be the scariest fucking thing ever.
Well, right.
So it's cool when it's in your control.
It's utter
Yeah.
Not so much when it's in
destruction
anybody
is
else's.
what it does.
It is, yeah. Because it's like a lightsaber. If it touches you, there's no going back.
Right. This is the end. That's the end of you.
This is the end of you. Yeah.
Unless you're Darth Maul, I
To
guess.
be
who
fair-
survives, I don't know.
Yeah.
To be fair, a chainsaw is not an efficient way to take apart a human. The
And you
flesh will
say this from
actually-
personal experience?
How do you-
The flesh and the guts will actually start winding into the gears and stuff. You have a problem with it.
Oh, that makes sense. Sort of like how when you're driving through zombies, like you can only do it for a little bit before your car's all fucked up and gunked up and there's shit in your tires and everything.
And you've got one kind of clinging on the undercarriage and fucking things up.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked.
What about you guys? Any crazy monsters and stuff that really get you, or ones that you really like or really appreciate?
I have a question for you, Steven.
Yo.
Werewolf or vampire, what would you be? If two walked in right now and they said, Steven, hey,
Vampire.
bud, I'm going to change you.
Vampire. I am.
Vampire.
I'm the guy. So in the movies,
Do
in the
I
books,
look like I go outside?
and in the comics, I'm not a hair person. If I
No.
see a lot
No,
of
you're
hair,
not.
and Will, you're the exception to this rule. But if I see a lot of hair, I'm like turned off usually.
Yeah.
Let
But
the Wookiee win.
but the so it was Jason from Friday the 13th for NES. He would pop up in random rooms.
Oh my God, Zufo! I can't tell you, man. As a child, that was fucking horrifying.
Oh, what's more horrifying is that fucking game over screen where it just gives you this nice long paragraph as to how much you suck by telling you everybody that you ever knew is dead.
Yeah.
It sounds like
it's
Robert De
all
Niro
your
from The
fault.
Untouchables. Like, I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burned to the ground. Like, Jesus, I'm sorry I died.
Yes, post a link, Zero.
You can
because
try.
I want to hear that music.
No,
I haven't
I
heard it
don't wanna-
since I was a
Fuck
kid.
you. I don't want to hear that music.
I think I can pull it up on my phone, even if it doesn't show up in our main chat, Zufo. I think I can pull it up. So give it a shot at the very least.
Give it a shot. Zuf.
But I would do vampire because
Yeah.
in books and movies, games, whatever, comics.
Vampires
I
are
really
pretty.
identify with, and we're gonna have a villain conversation in a few weeks.
Yeah.
But I really identify with the villains that want to live forever. So like I pose my friends these hypothetical like philosophical or ethical questions.
Right.
If you could live at the age you are, or let's say any age you want, by murdering one person every day for the rest of your life, and as long as you do that, you will stay alive.
To be fair, it wouldn't actually be necessary for you to have to murder them. A human stomach of any kind is not going to hold the amount of blood that a human holds.
Oh, it's not.
Again,
it's not
she
about.
speaks from personal experience.
It's not about like the actual consumption. I'm just saying from an ethical point of view. If this is
Yeah.
the thing
That's
that you
what it
have to
takes.
do.
Yeah.
Well, then all
Okay.
you have to do is kill the less dead.
If you're
Hookers and homeless.
Well, see, my reaction though is not even is just yes. I will do that
if you're
to live forever. I want to live forever.
Okay,
So
if
that's
you're
why
gonna-
I
if you're
identify
gonna
with
be-
vampires because
Okay.
if
I
you're
would
gonna-
easily sacrifice a person every day, and I don't care who they are.
If you're going to be a vampire, what kind of vampire would you be? Like,
Are we talking classic Dracula, Lost Boys?
I don't
John
know.
Carpenter's vampires?
I actually don't
30
know
Underworld?
Days of Night?
the variant of vampire.
You're eating maggots, Michael. How did they taste?
I'm not
Join
good.
us, Michael.
I have Cell Dweller has done a mashup of that and,
And the
a
Saw
song
song,
from Saw.
I love it.
Oh, that's tasty.
Wow. What about you, Chuck?
Oh,
I'm a werewolf.
Zufo doesn't have the music, but here's that image of
Ah.
Jason.
I saw
Fuck that.
And Will
Fuck
immediately
that.
got shut off
No, see,
from that.
it's not that he pops
you
up
guys
in
can't see
random
that, so.
rooms. He'll pop up in random rooms at random times. So you'll be walking around Camp Crystal Lake.
So
you
you'll go
walk
into a room that he wasn't in previously. And
Everybody
then he'll
hold
show
up.
back up.
We got a follower, Bradley 2002. Yo,
Bradley.
Thanks for the follow, man.
Bradley.
Yeah, we're on the better side of 80, I believe, if
Holy
I'm not
shit,
mistaken.
we're getting there.
God damn it,
nicely
Steven! You
done.
better start shopping for a dress.
roughly
in our way.
20
I'm
more
gonna.
people, and you're going to have to start.
I have my girlfriend has phenomenal dresses that I will be able to fit into.
You know what?
They're
I
great.
want you to cosplay as
Business?
Cloud from Final
Business
Fantasy
casual?
VII.
Wait, which cloud? Are we doing the crisscross?
The cross-dress cloud from Final Fantasy
Crossplay?
VII. What were we talking about?
Oh,
Just
let
a
me
second
know.
ago?
I can make the
Vampires
wig for
versus
that.
werewolves. Who
Yeah.
would you be? Chuck would be a werewolf.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He seems
I am
he
a
seems a little hulky, a little ragey.
So
He
you
wants
don't
to go out on the hunt.
you don't want to live forever.
Well, technically,
Who wants to live forever
Me.
when love must die?
I can find new love
technically,
really
depending on
easily.
which mythology you read, werewolves can live forever.
They can.
But it's not usually listed in most movies that they have that extended
Oh, because
lifetime.
they don't want to mix up like this is the thing that
They
vampires do. and
also
so we're just gonna
live
ignore it.
violent lives, so
Yeah.
usually it kind of ends messily, and they don't actually experience immortality.
Yeah, that's true. Now, Chuck, let me ask you this: if the werewolf that bit you, if it wasn't, you can't control it. It's a blackout rage. So, does that change your opinion at all?
Would you have to
How is
buy
that
it?
any different from me now?
Would you have to? So you would move to Oklahoma so you could have a basement to chain yourself up in? We don't have basements in Texas.
Yeah,
Remember?
there's very few.
No, actually, I
We could
Believe
get
it or
you a
not, I'm a
crypt.
writer. I've written quite a few short stories, and one of them is a dialogue between a recently turned werewolf and his best friend, and how a werewolf will hunt, and why a werewolf hunts, and how you can avoid being his next target.
Okay, Zufo, I'm going to address that because I want to. Living forever is overrated. The closest people to you will grow before your eyes and die. Here's the thing.
Provided
They
are
do
not...
that anyway.
They're going to do that anyway. A. B. Like, have you guys ever been in a relationship and have it end and then gotten over it?
Yeah.
I've had pets and they die, and I love them.
You got over it, right?
Yes, eventually.
Okay. Yeah. I'd get over it. and then I'd
So you
So
would also
basically,
be a
Steven-
vampire because you were entirely unemotional.
No, I'm very emotional. I understand that
Cold-blooded undead bastard.
it's not that I don't
Yes,
care.
I
It's just
am.
I can move on.
There
I can
you
move
go.
on.
Yeah.
Game guy says if you're 50 years old, you can throw some substance in someone's drink. And if they go to the bathroom and leave, they'll die, and you will look younger, so you will not look like the person that just killed the other
So we're
person.
talking about classic Bram Stoker's
You do
type
that.
Dracula.
Like you just walk it off. Yeah, Zufo, I'd walk it off. Like, but even
he
if
would
I was
walk it
upset,
off all the way to another continent.
even if I was really upset, there would come a point where I would stop being as upset.
Well, you would have to start living
You
your life
become-
like...
actually, you become desensitized.
Actually, that's something that I'll buy.
Yeah. Right.
Is that you get desensitized to it.
You eventually do something so often, it really doesn't matter anymore.
And then it
Yeah.
becomes not about survival.
And then, and once you get to that point,
It's
you'll
just
realize that
everything.
I want Will to finish that
immortality-
sentence.
Immortality is far more overrated than a lot of people make it out to be, and so you wonder, why am I living forever when I am no longer capable of feeling anything? I guess you'll just have to.
This is
completely
when you
ignore
actually
your
learn
humanity.
how to
Hey.
have other emotions and play.
We got
other
another
things.
follower, guys. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys,
Oh,
but I want to make sure that I'm
yeah.
shouting these guys out.
Cabranzas.
Cabranzas,
Cabranzas.
which is my favorite name.
That's a great name.
Cabranzas. Love it.
Cabranzas.
Or Cabranzaw.
Or
Cabernet
depending the
Sass.
way you look at it.
Cabernet
Yeah.
So I have
It's like
Full
Kansas
kinda
and
guy.
Arkansas and Nebraska all put together. That's really awesome.
So Shark, what about you?
Oh, I already said
Sheep van.
vampire.
Are you a vampire?
Well,
She
yes,
vamp?
what kind of vampire? We have established there are multiple types.
I still don't know the types. Like I don't know what the difference between the types are. But
You know, I think.
I
you-
would not want to do the full vampire coven type thing
Oh, I'm all
that
about
you
that.
see in Underworld all the time because I don't like all the political bullshit.
I like it.
But I
the
would
hierarchy
kind of like
stuff.
Yes,
That is kind of lame.
actually, to be fair, in the werewolf clans, you would still experience a sort of hierarchy with the alpha, omegas, and
course.
betas.
Yeah, but if Chuck went out and like slaughtered 6 people and ate them, and they're like, "Oh man, you shouldn't have done that," and
It
Chuck's like, "Well, I'm
really-
a werewolf,"
See,
and
that's the
vampires
thing.
are like, "Now we're
Werewolves-
gonna lock you up for the rest of your
Yeah,
eternity."
no, werewolves
or something.
and vampires will take justice on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't agree
It's to
with
protect the clan.
Yeah.
Werewolves have packs because wolves, and vampires have clans. So yeah, eventually a social structure will begin to form anyway.
Zufo's trying to
true.
beat your pun of the day, Will, with "I hate vampires; they really suck."
That was
He's
good.
coming. He's coming after you.
That was good, Zufo.
After your pun.
You're good, Zufo. You're doing good. What I like about vampire kind of covenants, whatever. It's if I'm gonna be a vampire, I want some cool people to hang with.
That's true.
For
As long as
eternity.
They
they're
may not be cool though.
As long
Remember,
as
this
they're-
is some.
well, and remember from Underworld, we had that one Weasley slimy guy who was like, "I will have you be mine."
half vampire.
Cabranzas, thanks for chiming in. Why be a vampire when you can be a troll under a bridge?
Because then you're
And
just a
then
big.
you
You're
eat-
just a big
Why would you be a
booger.
troll under the bridge when you can
Because
just be
you
a
Ugly
troll on the
sphinx.
internet?
You're just like an ugly
But you
sphinx.
can
at that
do that
point.
as a vampire or a werewolf.
You know,
Yeah.
you wouldn't get arrested if you had white hair. I could totally turn into Ghost.
That's true.
I totally want to turn into Jon Snow's dire wolf.
I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and I was telling them about how I tried to use one of the free
we just
rooms
had a Chuck squeak.
that Windstar sent me.
Yeah.
And they said they were booked up, so I complained to them over Twitter, and then they like gave me a free room because I was complaining very publicly.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
And the friend that I was speaking to is Hispanic, and she says, that only works because you're white. And I was like, actually, that's true. It's in the Constitution where when you're white, you get one free thing every month, and if we as white people don't get our free thing,
Where's
we
my
can
one free
we can
thing?
bitch about it online and have it given to us.
They didn't shank you
funny.
and take your liver, Chuck. That's what you're freaking
So my
It's
one
sad
free thing
'cause
is
there's
the
such
life
truth
that I've
to
been
that,
living so
Steven.
far.
There's a lot. Chuck, just get on Twitter, man. Do you have a Twitter account?
I did.
You get all sorts of free shit if you just complain on Twitter.
Yeah, because they're like
And your
nobody
wife.
nobody likes to be called out publicly.
I know.
Even
I've-
giant corporations.
I've called out restaurants before, and they've been like, "I'm so sorry," and I'm like,
Yeah.
Too late, bitch.
I just called out Chipotle the other day,
You did.
Yeah.
and I got a free burrito.
I
You did?
wish you should have called out Jimmy John's in a similar fashion.
That's true. I'm going.
You
I'm
didn't-
still going to.
Okay, yeah, there's no statute of limitations on this
No,
shit.
no way. Yeah,
Free shit for
I
everybody.
emailed Chipotle and I go, "Hey,
"Whiskey
you guys
Tango
didn't
Foxtrot."
have chicken," and they're like, "They gave me free shit." Instead of being like, "Oh, tough luck, dickhead!" Like,
Well,
Right.
it
Why don't you
is
try another
chicken.
time?
Chicken is pretty much fucking basic at
exactly.
Chipotle.
They were
That's
like,
really
I was
good.
like, "You didn't have chicken," and then the next time I went in there, they
It's-
didn't have any peppers.
It's like
So I
not
was
having
like,
black
what
beans.
are you guys doing?
It's either one or the other, man. You can't get them all.
Okay,
Can't get it all.
I'm gonna bring us into the creatures and monsters
Yeah.
conversation again. Sort of semi-related. What's the hardest boss you've ever fought in a video game? Like either the longest, it took you the longest time, or it was just you just couldn't. It took you the most times to.
Oogie Woogie on Kingdom Hearts.
Really?
Yes. I finally just rage quit, and I said I got other shit to do.
I think
Really?
I already know your answer, Steven.
Yeah, Chuck does know my answer.
Because I was there for that one. Kind of.
I think one of the hardest bosses, one of the most frustrating rage quits I just had was very recent,
Really?
and it was Witcher 3. And I just now found out that if it has a red skull over their head, that means it literally means don't even try.
Oh, you can't.
You better
do
be
this
a higher
fight.
level.
Oh,
Yeah.
if it has a red
If it
skull, it
has a
means
red
it will
skull,
skull fuck you.
It will skull fuck you. And I didn't know that, so I would like be like, oh,
I'm dating your skull tonight.
yeah. I'd be like, prepare to get wienered in the skull, and then like, nope.
Wienered in
Yeah,
the skull.
wienered in the skull. And you know what happened?
You got
They ended up
wienered in the skull.
wienering me.
They did. They did.
Yeah.
All the mayonnaise
And it was
filling.
over, and I did that boss battle like probably 19 times.
Wow.
And then every time you die,
I've done that before.
it has to do a load, and it's a
Oh.
really long load.
That's a pain in the ass.
And so, I mean, it was just bullshit.
What took so long about Oogie Boogie?
I don't remember
Was
exactly.
it just getting the fight down?
It was finding the rhythm and stuff. I do puzzle games, so whenever I have to do some, I'm not very,
Coordinated.
I'm not good with a lot of combat stuff. I usually do
Coordinated.
things scientifically as far as doing patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
And I wasn't finding a pattern. and I
Pattern
was like,
strategy.
"Fuck it."
Hardest boss battle I ever did was the Joker from the very first Batman for the NES.
Oh yeah, I never finished that one.
Was that a tough one?
Yes.
Will,
Because
I just now saw your eyes. It took me back. Took me back. That's why you're wearing the
Oh.
shades.
Yeah.
You bastard.
if
You
we
son
had
of
a
bitch.
remote, we would zoom that ass in right here.
Harold
you can
H.
actually kind of see it from here.
Harold H, thanks for following us. We appreciate the follow, man. We are taking a picture of Will and his crazy ass eyes that we're going to put up on our Facebook a little later because it's real good. It doesn't have to be a final boss, Sufo. It can be any boss. But
Any boss
Harold
at
H,
all.
thanks for the follow. We're on our way to 100, and we
I've
really,
had
really
some
appreciate
mini
it.
bosses.
Will is now sober.
Will has sobered up and joined the group.
Will is
I-
now sobered up and is undead.
They are not the Sharingan eyes, but they are pretty goddamn fabulous.
They're pretty good.
So, sorry, I'm typing in something because I'm trying to find the name
Yeah.
of a boss that I can't remember.
What game?
One from Dark Souls. I mean, those games are just real hard in fucking general. But
They are
I-
hard.
I-
But
I've
you know what?
had
I'm
some-
about to jump on Dark Souls 3. It's
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out soon, and I really
Oh,
want to give it a
man,
shot.
yeah.
And
Dark
I always
Souls.
try game franchises when they get their third.
really,
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, this is gonna go on
Because
for a while. So I'm
yeah,
here.
so I go, this is probably going to be a really good one because they've had 2 tries.
Here's the
and then
thing,
now-
though, is it was Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, and this is the 5th game.
Wait a minute. So Bloodborne is part of Dark Souls?
In a way,
In
yes.
spiritually, yes, it's sort of its own world
Okay.
that in some ways kind of links to it. Kinda, it's mostly its own story, but Demon Souls and Dark Souls are generally considered the same world. That events that take place at different times.
Right.
One of the longest boss battle I ever fought Chuck, do you remember how long it was?
Fuck, 10, 12 hours?
It was. I don't think it was 10, 12 hours. I think it was 4 hours. It was a 4-hour boss battle.
I was including the first time he tried.
Oh, the other times that I tried it, yeah.
Altogether, this thing took his ass half.
And
a
it
day.
was Angra Mainyu, which is an optional boss in Final Fantasy X-2.
He
Say what you want about
X-2
10-2
himself.
Say what you want about X-2. I really like that game. The that boss took and it was just HP out the ass. There wasn't any like real strategy to it. It was just survive this long, and it was absolutely unbelievable. That was one of them. If any of you guys play Dark Souls or Demon Souls, the one that is a pair, it's a pair of boss, and it's Smog
Beepers.
something in Smog. I'll find it in a minute.
Smaug.
Yeah.
I would say that my
claws
favorite
are
game where you can fight
spears.
monster versus monster is going to be
teeth
Capcom's
are
Darkstalkers. I
Darkstalkers,
love that since
yeah.
arcade days.
No, Zufo, it does not mess with my vision at all because they are my natural eyes. I am now a vampire.
I thought you were a fucking werewolf.
No, dude. I would be a vampire till I die. Yeah, Jeepers Creepers. Look
I
at
will
those beepers.
Tear yo.
Actually,
ass
for just
apart.
really good creature.
That sounds like a good
Creation.
fan fiction.
No, Chuck, because we would be the type of nocturnals that would just be buds, you know?
We're gonna have the lethal weapon where we're two cops from
Yeah.
opposite sides of the tracks. He's a werewolf.
By the way,
he's a vampire. They fight crime.
The Soul series does have really good like creatures in it. They're fantastic. But the most difficult one for me was the Dragon Slayers Ornstein and Smog. And here's the thing: you have this sort of big fat dude with a giant mallet, and he also has electrical properties. And then you have this really quick, swift dragoon kind of guy. And the idea is that you want to sort of take one out as fast as you can so you can focus on the other one. But they complement each other so well that it is practically impossible. It took me a very, very long time. Okay, we're going to wind this down now because we typically go into like the 10:15 and 10:30, and I'm going to attempt to get us out of here in the next 5 minutes. So here's what you need to do to follow us in our other places that are not Twitch. First of all of our Angry Cuddles social media is up there. I need you guys, well, we would need subscribers on YouTube and we need followers on Twitter. But like our Facebook page, because in December, when we give away Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain on Xbox One, a brand new copy, it's unopened, and you're going to want to like our Facebook page to be able to get in on that. The Twitch viewers will learn how to do it first, because we love you guys. It's going to be open to everybody on Facebook as well. But you'll have a heads up. So go ahead and like our page on Facebook. Visit our webcomic at angrycuddles.com. It's down there at the bottom. And that's really, really helpful. If you want to follow Chuck, wave at him from your computer because he doesn't really do anything.
Steven, I gotta say, that was a really good
I'm gonna have
dick
Blood
move.
tributes.
I want to have like a GoFundMe or a Patreon or something where I can finally build
he
a
can
goddamn
actually-
computer
And
I
learn
can
how to
s-
talk into a mic
Yeah.
instead of underneath it. Like, yeah.
Game Guy, he had a great sense of self. He would be a werewolf,
Oh,
but
my
aware.
God.
That's great.
But
Wow.
Excellent.
But if Will was as pale as me, then he'd be a fair wolf.
I like that one.
Game Guy. I was
Damn it.
the werewolf walking down the street with a Chinese menu in my hand.
If you want to follow Will on Twitter, he's at Will Roth Music.
That is true.
And
That
he
is
tweets
true.
shit. And he periscopes.
I
He
do
periscopes. You can,
periscope,
You
yeah.
can see what his dick looks like when he's on an airplane.
Yeah.
That's
oh
fun.
yeah, dude! I did do a crotch shot on accident.
He looked
I
like a
didn't know how it
4-second
worked.
crotch shot.
Yeah, I didn't know how it worked yet.
I tuned in. I was like, I'm so glad I'm here. Just kick back. If you want to follow Shark and her booze,
Hedgiehates.com, not con.
yeah, com.
Apparently, I
C-O-M.
can't type tonight.
Yeah, Zufo. It's from 9 to 10 Central. Man, it's like 3 minutes till 10.
How many times have you been to this show?
Zufo's always fucking Donnie from Big Lebowski.
Oh, I don't
like,
mind.
You're out of
Market
your-
zero.
You're out of your fucking
you're
league,
your
Donnie.
Fucking element, Donnie.
Oh, Element. I fucked up a Big Lebowski.
totally
That
fucked.
means I have to go home and whip myself in the back 5
yeah,
times.
and then drink a White Russian.
And drink a White Russian and do 5 Hail Dudes. And then
Yeah.
Five male dudes.
hedgiehates.com for Boo and the Hedgehog's misadventures. Also, is your Guitar Center
It is still going.
still going?
Guitar Center contest. Yeah, if you go to guitarcenter.com/songwriter.
I'm gonna put that in.
And then just look up Will Roth music, and then watch the videos. I'm on there.
You can get him some money.
Yeah, I'll
And
win
stuff.
money.
Yeah, there we go.
Which
that'd
means
be
he
really
will love
awesome.
you slightly more.
I will.
Will love you more.
Will love you.
We're going to be at Dallas Comic-Con this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Will has like Moonlight Native stuff to do, so he's going to be jamming out. Do you guys have a gig sometime on Saturday? Yes.
We do. We have a gig on Saturday, and it will be periscoped as well.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Yeah, follow Will on Twitter. You can get that Periscope shit going, and you'll be able to watch the show.
Yeah.
You're not gonna regret it.
It's gonna
Trust
be
me.
a badass show. Festival.
It's the green grapevine grape.
No, this one is the Mansfield
Mellow Mushroom,
Mellow Mushroom
Oh, sweet.
which I've never.
Festival.
What?
Yeah, it's like a huge stage, thousands
Okay.
of people.
At a Mellow Mushroom.
That's awesome. It's
the Mellow-
sponsored
it's the-
by Mellow
It's the
Mushroom.
Mellow Mushroom
Okay.
stage.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not inside of a Mellow Mushroom.
That would be
They're gonna
awful
pack
tiny
people.
and delicious.
It would be a
Right.
very delicious affair.
But Dallas Comic-Con Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday,
Yeah.
Joseph will be there, the artist for the Angry Cuddles webcomic. I'm going to be there the whole weekend, so I'll be there. You can come by and say hi to the Irving Convention Center, 16, 17, and 18. On Saturday, Shark is going to be there. She's going to help woman the table with me, and you can get her to sign shit and say hello and stuff.
I'll make angry faces at you if you like.
Yeah, and some of her Hedgy Hate stuff will be there too. She has buttons, I hear. I've actually seen them. They're good. And on Sunday, Mike, who used to be on the podcast and wrote the Game Tales and is in the shorts, the Angry Cuddle shorts, will be there, and so you can come and say hi to him in his YouTube-y glory. Game Guy, we will have other stuff. I'm going to try and get us into some Austin cons and stuff in 2016, so maybe that'll be a little bit closer, something that you guys can do.
So gorgeous.
Shark, will you sign my permission slip for a field trip? Yeah. Just say Shark. Go to your teacher and be like, Shark sent me. Fuck you.
I'm a shark.
And the Sci-Fi Factory is going to be there all weekend, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be there.
Sunday, maybe?
Okay. Last several times I asked you, you said you're going to be there all weekend, so I didn't put you in on the Angry Cuddles table.
Yeah, things just kind of started.
Oh, Game Guy, I'll be in
Withering away.
PAX.
Oh, yeah, PAX. And I'm going to be at PAX, too, in January. Not officially in terms of Angry Cuddles-y stuff, but I'll be there. I'll wear an Angry Cuddles shirt, and you can come by and say hi.
That's another reason why I may or may not be able to make Comic-Con at all.
Okay, well, try to make Comic-Con. Come by
I
and,
will
and,
try.
and
I
see
will
Chuck
try.
on Sunday, and and the whole weekend though the Sci-Fi Factory will be there, and they're awesome. We're going to be at the Sci-Fi Factory in November. Also, we have an Artist Alley November 7th. I'll tell you guys more about that later. But Comic-Con this weekend. Go and buy our shirt. Our shirt's in our store. It's angrycuddles.com/store. And if you buy a shirt and I mail it to you, I will also send you if you buy it this week. Then I will also send you free webcomic prints, 11x17 webcomic prints.
And if you share a picture with us, then we will probably try to our best to mention you on the show.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
And
Yeah,
if
we'll
you
do.
Take a picture with us, then you'll just get a really awesome high five.
Yeah, share us on Facebook and post our page and stuff. We'll do all sorts of shit to you and with you.
And if
I'm not sure if
you
that's a good thing or not.
If you screenshot this photo right now,
What about it?
and then do a Photoshop contest, the winner of the Photoshop contest gets something cool.
Oh, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Oh, Jesus
Just
Christ.
help us. You help us, we'll help you. Anyway, we love you guys.
Man, if I was going to be that big, I was actually going to post something.
So I don't know if my name is Steven.
My name is Chuck.
My name's Will. Hey.
And I'm sure.
That's what my orgasms sound like,
Yeah, he
Will.
goes, "Oh, I'm Steven." Do you even say your name? Like, I'm
I say my own
Steven.
name like Steven. It's like my third grade teacher used to say my name, Steven.
Yeah.
Steven.
You go, oh,
Well-
Steven.
Fetishes
Steven.
do start in childhood.
They do. Early
Steven?
onset fetishes.
Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Okay, good.